is the Dust Devil's Warbond S tier. I tested every single item, so let's go ahead and find out. Starting with the AR2 Coyote, a primary weapon that shoots fire bullets. And this makes it the best primary in the game. Wait, that's not right. I meant to say best primary assault rifle because it applies fire very quickly. Hunters, Wilbers, Pouncers, Warriors for the most part, one bullet, they're on fire, and they're dead. With 45 round capacity, 75 damage, but the damage part is still pretty good for ARs, and medium penetration, you can do so much with this weapon. To make matters crazier, you can one-shot Gloom Hunters, and more importantly, Gloom Warriors. Those dudes can take about 4 shots to the frickin' dome ski from a Lib Penetrator, which is medium pen, deals 60 damage. The Coyote, dealing 75 damage, one-shots it. 9 times out of 10. Occasionally, Warriors will live through the one fire proc, which is kind of strange, but in most cases, they're going down if they're on fire. Certain enemies require a bit more fire procs and more bullets to be lit on fire, for instance, Overseers. It's 3 bullets to get on fire, and they require 2 cycles of fire to die. Still, compared to other ARs, you're saving a bunch of ammunition. You can light multiple on fire and cycle between them, if they let you live. You will be able to customize Coyote, muzzles, underbarrel, and optical attachments. I don't know which ones, because in the build the devs gave me, it says cannot edit, but they explicitly said that you can. Now, fire is a pretty insane stats effect, dealing damage based on the enemy's HP. Bile Titans, Meat Bobs, they have a lot of it. 6,500 and 6,000, I believe, to be somewhat exact, hopefully. So you can be contributing a lot with your medium pen assault rifle that just happens to combust enemies. There is some sad news. I do not know if the Hive Lord is combustible. I put many bullets in his gullet and never saw a single fire tick, which would be helpful considering it has 150,000 HP. Apparently. Coyote is fantastic for bugs and Illuminate on max difficulty. And by the way, it's a one tap to the Voteless, because it died to the damage over time effect. On automatons, I didn't have a scope, I couldn't give it a full feel, so I will say I liked it a lot on level 7 difficulty, where you have less Rocket Striders, or actually none, and instead there's Scout Striders, where medium pen's pretty good, and a lot more Billy Bobs of the Blicky that you can also one tap if they don't block with their arm. Eat 700 Expendable Napalm is a pocket napalm barrage. You drop down 2 rockets that both fire and aim the same way an Eat 17 would. The difference is you'd shoot an airburst of sorts, but the physics are a bit different. Wherever you hit, the pellets bounce off of a little bit and drop down. And you've also got the napalm aspect where it just coats the ground and fire. So it's pretty much the Eat 700 Expendable Airburst Napalm Barrage. The first thing any reasonable person would do is test it on the Flying Bile Titans, and so I did. Turns out it's honestly pretty good. One shot gets it fairly weak, and the next one finishes it off. This was before I knew it had armor pin level 7, which in theory means you can kill a bunch of large dudes, and in practice, that means Meat Bob. You can one-shot one of the tankiest enemies in the game that doesn't have a true weak spot using the Eat 700. With direct hits. I tried doing it with the non-direct hits to no avail. The direct damage on the actual rocket, for at least Hulks in this case, is not that impressive. One clean shot, he's still alive. Second clean shot, he died of fire. Get creative and disperse the shrapnel, which has 20 pellets that get sent out, and they are medium pen. Now ideally, hit high ground. Infinitely more valuable hitting high ground and dispersing the fire in a larger area than hitting one person and maybe it hits a few folks next to him. And it can go a lot further than you think. That hill, not very high. Those Devastators, very combustible. I learned to do this by trying to shoot down dropships. As you can see, it didn't work out, but the shrapnel has a pretty easy to see pattern. I'd wait to fire it until the enemies are actually on the ground so they get hit by the shrapnel pellets. Another example would be right here. Anything up in the front just got smoked and rolled dang near instantaneously, and all the remaining Berserkers took damage as well, and the fire finishes them off. The Hulk survives for now. Speargun. It shoots a harpoon dealing 650 damage and emits a gas grenade effect the moment it makes contact. So essentially you get 12 extra gas grenades that can be placed expertly from distance, or point blank. Shoot the ground, anything walking towards it, they'll get confused. Thankfully, it's heavy pen, so you can kill Hulks to the visor, which is a lot of fun for me. And gunships and a whole bunch of other stuff. Think of it as a weaker railgun in the sense of damage, with additional crowd control and the ability to evict Rupture Strain from the ground using the gas. And that's not the only CC that's on the Speargun. It has an absurdly powerful stagger force. Bile Titan spewing, shoot it, it will stop. A Meat Bob is charging. You can you can't stop it. You can actually pause it. Once it's unpaused, it continues charging. I think chargers don't do that though. They're mid-gallop. You hit them, they just call it quits. They tucker out for a little bit, and they reconvene after thinking through their life. If you time it just right, you can make a Dragon Roach miss its spew. If you're in a party and teammates have anti-tank, maybe don't shoot it during this because that window is a great time to kill it. Even though the damage is not wild, I had a blast shooting this thing, and I kind of hope they make it so you can change the ammo from gas to smoke to fire perchance. That'd be a nice little change of pace for the gun. Solo Silo, a ballistic 500 kg that can be fired from Narnia and one-shot a factory strider, as long as you hit it on the top somewhere. The face and the wagon are all included. One-shot the bunker mission objective, which is 4 of them on max difficulty, so you can beat that mission in about no time flat. Take out an entire Shakira Hotel nest, including all 3 from a single use, if they're close enough, and you can also decimate a spore spewer from deep. If you can see the illuminate dropships on the ground, you can take them out. Which leads one to think, what about those in the sky? Yeah, about that. It has respectable damage, but gets hard carried by the explosion going downward. The radius is the same as a 500 kg. Demolition strength is 10 less than 500 kg. The bad news is, you cannot destroy a detector tower, stratagem jammer, or science building using this stratagem. The cooldown is a little bit hefty. I will also say it gets destroyed instantaneously by anything. If a random Rupture Warrior hits it one time, it is gone. If a War Strider notices it from freaking a different dimension, it will bombard it, and it only takes 1 grenade a little far away to destroy it. You have to drop your support weapon to pick up the targeting device for the silo. It has a lot of sway, so lay down to give yourself a much steadier shot, and do be warned, the scope is essentially non-existent. Actually, it's for aesthetics. I don't believe it zooms in at all. Maybe 5 meters. Scope's massive too. So all I'm saying is potentially give that like a 50 meter zoom, 100 meter zoom, something like that. It would be mental to see 4 people having solo silo and essentially 4-shot a factory strata convoy. They all shoot at the exact same time. It goes down like that. Desert Stormer armor passive provides 40% resistance to fire, gas, acid, and electrical damage with increased storing range by 20%. Values that are already found on other armors just slightly reduced. Like the first one is from Killzone, which folks can't get right now. I hope they can in the future. I'm also hoping we can pick our own perks pretty soon. No need to call a plumber. You cannot stop this drip. The heavy armor is the best one by far. Medium's pretty good too. And the Superstore, I don't like the colors, but I like the design. The banner is nice. The cape's pretty cool. And the skins on the vehicles, wow. I'm avoiding talking about pineapple. That grenade is the worst thing I've seen in the game in forever. And I mean it too. I couldn't find a single positive thing about it. Aside from the name's kind of funny and it looks cool. But what does it do? I tried throwing it in the air to give it a longer charge to disperse shrapnel. Nothing really died. I threw it at the ground. And the only time it got decent kills was on Voteless. I could have used a gas grenade, gotten way more value, applied to more things as well. Why would I ever bring pineapple? Light damage, light penetration for the damage. 300 damage. And the clusters are not that big. It says large radius. Since that clusters in a large radius. Large. Almost forgot a paramount part of the Warbond. Raiders cheer. I think it's from Star Wars. I don't quite know. I do believe the Warbond is pretty good. I wouldn't say S tier necessarily. It depends on your perspective of the AR, which will bump it up heavily. That thing is a beast, and once I get attachments for it, I'll like it even more, most likely. Pineapple brings it down a little bit. Speargun utility will be more than just viable, I think. You can do some stuff with it that could be pretty cool. Combining fire with the gas, you now have fire grenade options, your flamethrowers, and then a ranged gas option that gives you 12 gas grenades, technically, over the 4. And Napalm Expendable, I think folks are going to love that, man. They already like tossing in napalm barrages and getting a bunch of kills. Expendable napalm just makes that happen more often now. I don't know how I feel about it in a group setting, but solo it's pretty fun to use. And the solo silo, it needs a lot of work. Is that your harpoon, or are you just happy to see me? You may have noticed my spear is hanging way outside my spear gun, and that's a issue with the recent weapons where the reloads have some strange animations going on. On the variable, you have a circle every time you reload in first person. It de-immerses me, man. Just gotta get that fixed ASAP. In this case, it's a lot more egregious because it sticks out, and it's just not visually appealing. Anyway, that's the video. Hope it helped you in some way. Be sure to get a stainless steel pan if you need it. Some stickers that are Helldivers related and kind of fun. Maybe some creatine electrolytes. You never know. At the links in the bio. Thanks for watching. Bye.